Alrighty guys, Mason here. So, this is my 1985 Toyota van Space Cruiser. And yes, it is a real Space Cruiser. It's not no replica like most of them are. Most of them I see, I don't know. But, see, it's a Space Cruiser. It's not 3D printed. See, it's like shiny. Anyhow, it is a Space Cruiser and I do believe it is a Space Cruiser. So, like I said, 1985. It's one of the more ratty vans, as you could tell. I mean, it's missing a lot of the interior and carpets. Yeah, what are those? Yeah, it's pretty clean though. This seat right here, this came out of probably early 90s Chevy S10, and it works great. Besides having to drop the gas tank to bolt it in, it kind of sucked. But anyhow, one thing that you will notice about this van is that it is very clean, rust-wise, I mean. The only really real rust it has is right here, which I'm gonna get that fixed, and right there. Focus. There you go. That's the only two spots of rust it has. Has a little bit, like, see, I painted over most of this where the rust is. And it has some exterior rust right here, but yeah, this thing is a Florida car, and you can tell. I mean, if we go, usually all these rockers are all rusted out. This one I'm gonna point out in there, nice and clean, as you can see. No rust under there. Same with the front, except the dog chewing the mud guard. I gotta get a new one, but look at that. No rust in there. No rust in there. It does have a little bit of rust in here, as you can see. The windshield has been taken out and some rust repair's been done here, but the dash is a little rusty. That's more Florida rust than northern. See, the rocker's clean on that one. And this one too. Very clean, very little rust. If we get underneath here and we look at the frame rails, under here, look at that, there's like no rust under here. No rust. See, it does have a bit of a power steering fluid leak, but I mean, look up in there. There's nothing. We'll go to the other side. There is very little rust in this van. Besides right here, the guy has fixed rust here and put a new top part on. Again, this is a Florida car, so Florida cars tend to rust body panels, not underneath, because we don't have salt on the road. Mind my very poor exhaust job, I was just trying to get this shit to work. Very little rust in there though. Look at that. There's like nothing under here. Floor pans are all clean. Yeah, terrible exhaust job. I hate that. I need to redo it. Besides that, look at that. It's very clean up in there. Like I said, it is a two-wheel drive, obviously, for the uninformed. It does run good. The guy supposedly replaced the transmission. Oh, very rust right there. But overall, this is a very clean van. I mean, it's a little ratty, but rust-wise, this thing is very clean. Yeah, it's just a neat old van, I guess. I'll show you the engine. Just kind of pull the seat up and it lifts. I didn't latch it for video purposes. The head was redone on this thing, so the whole top end has been rebuilt. Runs like a top. It does have an aftermarket radiator in it. It helps a lot. I have no overheating problems. And since this is a Florida van, it does not have a thermostat in it right now, so it takes a little bit to warm up. See, there's not really a whole lot left in here. Yeah, but look at that, only 115,000. It's not a whole lot for one of these. I know this thing will last me well over 300,000. Also, gotta love the wheels. They do remind me a lot of the, if you ever played Gran Turismo, the A86 from that game. What was it? Gran Turismo A-Spec on the PS2. Exact same wheels. Love the wheels. What else was I gonna show off? said S10 back seats. There's no carpets. It's missing. I was gonna say something else though. I forgot. Oh yeah, I traded my '65 Plymouth Valiant for it, which you may say that I got the short end of the stick trading for this van, but quite frankly, I didn't. The Valiant was all rusted out. I never did take a full video of it. I did a cold start on the channel, but no, this van is a lot cleaner than that, runs a lot better, and it's fuel injected. So as a daily driver, this is a lot better than my Valiant. And nobody has said this before, so I'm gonna say it now. You ever wonder, and people who own these vans will totally agree with me, the best way to describe the way it drives is a mini cab over semi. So think of a cab over semi truck, and you're pretty much driving one of them with these vans. It's very up top. Since my van does not have tilt steering, as you can see, it does not have it. It's kind of very semi-truckish. I don't know if you can get that on camera. It's a lot angled up more than most vehicles. And another thing that most people, well, you have to get used to is the pedal placement. It's very odd, if you can kind of get a scope of that. Very odd to drive. Again, once you get used to it, it's perfectly great and fine and dandy or whatever, but it does make it kind of awkward to drive at first. You do get used to it though. And if you do get one of these vans, be ready for the attention. If you are an introvert, stay away from this van. People love this thing, and I'm not trying to be cocky or anything. Like, people love these vans. I'm pretty sure most people mistake it for a Volkswagen bus, honestly. Not for the front, but like, let me close the trunk real quick. Prove my point here. If you look at this thing from the back, I think most people are going to confuse it for a Volkswagen bus, and I have had it confused a couple times. I don't usually correct people because I'm not like cocky or whatever, but it is not a bus. People do get it confused though a lot. You'll get a lot of, man, that's a nice bus. And I'll be like, thanks. I don't want to correct them and be all like, well, actually, it's a Toyota van, a 1985. Not going to be like that. Highway speeds, it's kind of slow. It likes about 60, 65. That's where it's happy. It's not the fastest thing in the world. Let's say there's a 45 and it changes up to a 55. Yeah, you'll be accelerating for a couple minutes on the highway. It may just be my van though. I do make it shift kind of low. I did adjust it so it shifts low. I don't like a high revving because it annoys me, but yeah, I'll just walk around the van again. You saw underneath, it's very clean. On the bottom, again, it's a Florida car, so it rusts on the more Florida cars, and especially this one came from Miami, so they tend to rust, especially like where the salt water is on the beach. They tend to rust body panels, not underneath. I guess everywhere except California, I guess. Everywhere cars do rust. Florida rust is, your probably best bet honestly would be like up in Georgia for a really clean car, or Texas. Florida, you tend to get a lot of body panel rust because they the salt water gets to it. But yeah, very clean Florida van. Yeah, I don't know, not much else to say really. The only, like I said, the only problem this van has ever given me was I knocked the kickdown cable off. I'll show you. Whenever I was doing an oil change, I accidentally pulled the kickdown cable off, which is the top one there. I kind of just slotted out and it wasn't doing anything. The van was shifting really high and I didn't understand why until I looked at it. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a dummy. So once I fixed that, it was perfectly fine. I guess it's enough of me babbling. Comment what you think about it. Another one of these on YouTube. Love this thing. I have no plans to get rid of it, and I will be working on it on the channel. One thing I definitely want to do to it though, and y'all can stay tuned for that, I'm going to headliner. I'm thinking maybe like mount some LEDs in the in between right here and put a star headliner, you know what I mean? Like have a little star shining. I think that'd be super dope. Also, you might see some videos of me camping in this thing, because I never understood why people turn these into campers until I got mine and I realized, holy crap, they have a lot of headroom. They're kind of a, I don't know if it comes off on video. It's a very narrow, tall vehicle, which brings me to another point in driving. It's light. I can literally put this thing in neutral and push it down the road here. It being light and tall and narrow, when it's windy out, it throws you around a bit on the highway. You got to get used to that. And another point I'm going to make, can you all comment if this is normal or not? I don't know. My steering wheel play, I have about that much play, which is not super great. You get used to it, but I don't know if it's normal or not. But anyhow, y'all comment what you think about this thing. I'd love to hear it. I am also on the Facebook group, so if you're part of the Facebook group and you're watching this, hi. You've seen pretty much all the work I've done to this thing. Anywho, you just, if you watched 11 minutes of me babbling, I appreciate it. I'm trying to detail this thing the best I can. Anyhow, if y'all watch this far, appreciate it. Leave a comment. You know, I like my comments. I like reading them. Like hearing what y'all have to say. Anyhow, I'm out. Stay tuned for more van stuff, mud mowers, you know the gist. Anyhow, see y'all next time.